Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're stepping onto the boardwalk, but maybe not for the reasons you'd expect. We're looking at some real life experiences where these, seemingly innocent places, they turn into scenes of something really unsettling. We've gathered a few true horror stories shared by people online, all happening on what look like peaceful boardwalks. So our mission here is to unpack these accounts, explore how just a normal routine, something mundane, can suddenly flip into, well, sheer dread. For you, our listener, you start to see these common threads emerge. Even places we think are safe. Sometimes there's this hidden layer, something unknown, just lurking. Okay, let's unpack this. First up, we have this account from a 15-year-old. Typical beach town, but it's the off-season. Place is practically a ghost town. And this kid, they're used to doing late-night runs on the boardwalk. It's just a normal night, a normal run. They have this habit, right? No phone. Just a little Garmin watch for pace. And crucially, their house keys in their pocket. And these keys...
Yeah, non-negotiable. Parents were super strict about keeping the house locked, always, even if they were inside.
So they're a few miles in, got that runner's high going, and then they hear it, a tiny little clink, checks the pocket. Empty. Stomach just drops. The keys. They crouch down, try to peer through the gaps in the boardwalk wood, pitch black under there. No chance of seeing them. So frustrated, knowing how mad their parents would be. They jump off the side, down onto the sand underneath. The smell hits them straight away. Awful, like rotten seaweed, stale beer, just damp and heavy. Ugh.
Every step is kicking up sand, trash. It's disgusting, but they need those keys. They hunt around for a bit using just a tiny backlight on their watch. No luck.
And that's a moment, isn't it? When something simple like losing keys suddenly feels huge, like you're properly stuck, especially when the place you thought you knew, the boardwalk, suddenly feels like this, well, obstacle.
Totally. So they climb back up onto the boardwalk, and then they get this, quote, genius idea.
Yeah.
Use a shoelace as a marker. Kneels down, unties one, slips it between the planks, lets it dangle down so they can spot it from underneath, right?
Makes sense.
But as they're standing up, something tugs the lace hard. It just vanishes.
Yeah.
Pulled straight down into the crack. Not the wind, not the moving it. Someone pulled it. Total shock. Someone pulled it.
And that's the shift. It stops being about lost keys and it becomes this immediate gut feeling. There's someone else here, unseen. It really ramps up the fear, that active presence you can't see. Your mind starts racing. Oh yeah. And their mind goes straight to the keys. Whoever's under there, they probably have them now. And the worst part, their house address was etched onto the keychain.
Oh, wow.
So now some stranger might know exactly where they live. First thought is just run, get home. But then the anger hits. Someone has their address. Maybe it was like stupid teenage confidence, maybe adrenaline, but they take a deep breath, jump back down onto the sand, crawl under again. This time feels different, though. The air feels heavier. They're sort of bracing for something, a confrontation. They hear this faint shuffling noise ahead, then again, but from a different direction. And that's when it hits them, like ice water, the noise. It's not just one spot. There are multiple people under there.
Oh, no.
Common sense finally kicks in. Like, what were they thinking? Fight people living under a boardwalk? That's suicide. They turn to scramble out, trying not to panic, but just before they get clear, something cold grabs their ankle, a hand. They scream, fingernails digging in, pure instinct. They kick back, hard. Foot connects with something solid, the grip loosens. Let's go. They scramble like mad, scraping against sand, wood, pushing themselves out into the open air. Don't stop running, sprint straight home, pounding on the door. Dad opens it, furious at first, but then they explain everything, the keys, the lace, the people, the marks on their ankle, and the parents' anger just turns to fear. Dad calls the police. Next morning, locksmith changes every single lock on the house. For a couple of days, things almost felt normal again. They figured, okay, that was terrifying, but it's over. But then, a few mornings later, loud knocking on the door. Way too early. Go downstairs, look through the people. Nobody there. Confused, they open the door just a crack. Look around. Street's empty. No cars, no people. Just as they're about to shut the door, they spot something. On the doormat. It's a shoelace. Their shoelace. The one from under the boardwalk.
Chilling. Absolutely chilling.
Slams the door. Doesn't even think. Security system installed that same afternoon. Weeks of living on edge followed. Constant fear. But nothing else ever happened. Still, years later, they can't explain it. And it still creeps them out knowing some stranger knew where their house was.
That really speaks to how fragile our sense of security is, doesn't it? That shoelace, delivered right to the door. It shatters the idea of home as a safe haven. It becomes this deeply personal violation. It's not just a random encounter anymore. It's targeted. That's profoundly unsettling.
Yeah, exactly. From that kind of physical hidden threat, let's shift now. Let's talk about a different kind of dread, that feeling of just being watched. Our next story takes us back to the boardwalk, off-season again. late night runs. This narrator, they found real peace out there, called it a detox from life. Just the salt air, the damp wood smell, their footsteps. Felt like the whole world was empty just for them. But then, maybe a mile into a run, that feeling creeps in. You know the one. Like eyes are on your back, they glance over their shoulder, way off in the distance. A man, standing completely still, facing them. Tries to brush it off. Probably another local, right? But still, eerie. Keeps running. A few minutes later, though, the feeling is back. Stronger. Heart starts pounding. Not just from running. Something else. Curiosity, maybe dread, makes them look again. He's closer, still motionless, still just standing there, facing them. That deep, crawling unease starts.
That specific type of fear. The passive observer is uniquely disturbing. It's not an immediate attack, but the psychological pressure is immense. Why are they watching? What do they want? The ambiguity is terrifying. It taps into this modern anxiety, too, like being surveilled, even when you think you're alone.
It's like the ultimate invasion of personal space, but without any physical contact yet. So the narrator speeds up, takes out their headphone, feet are pounding now, breathing faster. But then they hear footsteps behind them, in sync.
Oh, that's bad.
They turn again, he's closer still, but again, totally stationary the moment they look. How? How is he moving, then stopping so perfectly? Now it's a sprint. Full on, the boardwalk, which felt peaceful before, now feels like this endless trap, stretching on forever. Their car is way at the end, near the beach entrance. Just gotta make it. Running harder than they ever have, lungs burning, legs screaming, refusing to stop. But every few seconds, they risk a glance back, and every single time, he's closer. Still standing, still watching. They finally see the boardwalk exit. The car, almost crying with relief, fumbling with keys, hands shaking like crazy, presses on lock, yanks the door open, throws themselves inside, slams it, locks it, turns the key, engine starts, throws it in reverse, backing out fast, puts it in drive, ready to peel out of there, looks ahead, and the man is standing right there, directly in front of the car, where they were just parked. Just a glimpse, hood up, face mostly hidden, but he's there. They crank the wheel, tires screeching, almost losing control as they whip the car away. The drive home is a blur, running red lights, swerving, just pure panic driving. Gets home, locks everything, every door, every window, checks them twice. Didn't sleep that night, obviously, and they've had nightmares ever since, referencing that run, that man, sometimes watching, sometimes chasing. Their mind just fills in the blanks of his face with something terrifying because they never really saw it. Needless to say, no more winter runs on the boardwalk. Ever. Okay, let's move to our third story. This one hits that fear of being trapped, confined. We've got a 22-year-old narrator on a weekend trip down the shore. Late night, needs a public bathroom on the boardwalk, and it's exactly what you'd expect. Old, beat up, lighting is terrible, smells awful, like bleach trying and failing to cover up something worse.
Yeah, those places are never pleasant.
Not great, but needs must. Figures they'll be quick. Pushes the door open, instant regret, heads for the stall furthest away, inside the stall. Then they hear the main bathroom door creak open again. A little bit annoyed, you know. Privacy gone. Listens. Footsteps walking around. Slowly. Seems like they're circling the bathroom. Which is weird. Sometimes it even sounds like footsteps from different directions, like maybe more than one person. Not sure. Then the footsteps just stop. Near the sinks. Silence. No coughing, no water running, nothing. Narrator finishes up, ready to bolt, goes to push the stall door open. It won't budge.
Oh, come on.
Jiggles the latch. Nope. Stuck fast. It feels like punching the door. They're so uncomfortable and just angry now. Then the footsteps start again. Closer this time. And this really nasty feeling hits them. Someone is holding that door shut. From the outside. Tries shoving it with their shoulder. Still nothing. Adrenaline floods their system. Brain starts connecting the dots. This isn't accidental. Decides, no way, not sitting here like a target. Takes a run at the door, full force. It bursts open, sends them stumbling out. And as they stumble out, they see the main bathroom door swinging shut, like someone just left. Scans the bathroom. Empty. Seems like whoever was walking around is gone.
That moment of escape, turning into another trap. That's a particular kind of horror. When the public space, which should offer some safety, becomes intensely private and dangerous, you lose all sense of control.
Absolutely. So they quickly wash their hands, go to leave, grabs the main door handle. It won't turn, won't budge at all, like it's locked from the outside. Freezes. Is this a prank? Maybe friends messing around? But no, that doesn't make sense. Friends left ages ago, didn't even know they were here. Either way, properly freaked out now, grits their teeth, starts banging on the door, yelling, "Let me out! Open the door!" No response. Then movement from one of the other stalls behind them. Whips around. Can't see anything under the door, but they know someone's in there, which means there were two people in here the whole time.
Oh, Nick.
And if they didn't see feet under the doors, They must have been standing on the toilets.
That is incredibly creepy.
Yeah. Thinks about calling the police, but first things first, get out, get safe. Notices a window, high up, near the ceiling. Grimy. Not very big, but it's the only option. Climbs onto the sink below it, feels like the whole thing might break, shoves the window open, starts pulling themselves up halfway out, and one of the stall doors behind them bursts open, locks eyes with the man. Described him as really hairy, skin-like, unnaturally pale, dressed like a teenager jeans, hoodie maybe, but this guy looked about 50.
Just wrong. Everything about that is wrong.
Doesn't waste a fraction of a second. Scrambles the rest of the way out the window, drops hard onto the boardwalk below, knee hits the ground, pain shoots up, but doesn't care, just runs. Gets a safe distance away, finally calls the cops. Officers arrive pretty quick, but by the time they check the bathroom, guy's gone, of course. That end of the boardwalk was dead. No shops open, no security cameras, nothing. They show the officers what happened. One cop points out scratches on the main door handle, says it looks like someone definitely tampered with it.
Confirmation, at least.
Yeah, confirmation that someone wanted them trapped in there, which isn't exactly comforting. Cops basically said they were smart to climb out the window, and that was pretty much it. Narrator had to leave the beach the next day, never got an update. Doubts the police did much investigating, really.
Yeah.
Okay, our final story. This one goes back, way back to the narrator's childhood. Around 8 or 9 years old, they used to spend summers at their grandparents' beach house. But this particular summer was different. Huge hurricane was forecast. So the town built these massive sand dunes all along the shore, like a barrier. These things were enormous. Totally blocked the ocean view from the boardwalk. You'd walk along, and instead of the sea, just this giant wall of sand.
Quite a visual. Changes the whole feel of the place.
Definitely. So one evening, narrator gets into a fight with a brother. Typical kid stuff. Being a bit of a troublemaker, they decide to sneak out. Not fully dark yet, but wanted some time alone. Slips out of the house, barefoot, heads to the boardwalk, and it's weirdly empty. Like, completely deserted, not a soul around. Feels strange. Was just about to turn back, maybe feeling a bit spooked by the emptiness when they see it. A thin plume of smoke rising from behind one of those huge dunes. Looked like a little volcano, smoke coming out of the sand.
Out of place.
Yeah, smoke on the beach happens, campfires and stuff, even though it's usually against the rules. But with no one around, it felt wrong. No adults anywhere. Should have gone home. Every instinct probably said, go home, but, kid curiosity.
Always guess, yeah.
Climbs the dune a little way down from the smoke, gets to the top, covered in sand, peers over, down on the beach. A bonfire. But the weirdest thing, it's totally isolated. Just the fire burning away. No people, no chairs, no coolers, nothing. Like someone lit it and just walked off. Even at 8 or 9, they knew that was bad. Leaving a fire unattended, dangerous. Slides down the dune, goes over to the fire, starts kicking sand on it, trying to put it out, gets the flames down. But now they're really curious. Why would someone just leave a fire? Unless they were doing something they shouldn't be. Starts inspecting the fire pit more closely, poking around with a stick maybe, and finds clothes, little kids' clothes, shoes, socks, bits of fabric, mostly burned.
Oh, no.
Not good. Gets this sick feeling. Realizes the fire wasn't for warmth or fun, it was mostly burning clothes. But then, something else. Photos. Or what was left of them. Mostly charred black, but one. One photo had survived just enough. Could make out a face. A boy. Looked about their age, maybe 8 or 9. And the narrator says he looked, honestly, a little bit like them. Like if their parents said, oh, that's your distant cousin, they would have believed it.
Wow.
Seeing that picture made them feel really scared, dropped the stick they were poking with.
That specific detail, the resemblance, that takes it to another level. Especially for a child. It's not just finding something bad. It feels personal. It shatters that childhood feeling of safety, of things like that happening to other people, not someone who looks like you. It's profoundly disturbing.
And just then, it got worse. Heard a shout, "Hey!" from down the beach. Looks up, there's a man coming towards them. Bald, can't see his face clearly, too far away, but he's staggering, like stumbling every few steps, drunk. Or maybe something else. He yells again, "Hey, kid!" Starts moving faster now towards them. Narrator just freezes, petrified. Then the man yells, "Don't you go anywhere!" And that snaps them out of it. Little kid brain finally connects with their legs, turns and runs straight for that huge sand dune wall. Running in sand is hard, right? Especially for a kid. But feels like life or death now.
Absolutely. Pure terror.
Starts scrambling up the dune, can hear the man behind them yelling horrible things, getting closer. Just as they reach the top of the dune, feels fingernails scraping at their ankle. Clawing, doesn't get a proper grip somehow. By sheer luck, maybe. They just vault over the top of the dune, tumble down the other side onto the boardwalk path, sprints, doesn't stop, all the way home, glancing back, terrified he's following, gets inside, goes straight to their room, starts crying, wants to tell the parents, tell someone, but all they can think is, I snuck out, I'll be in so much trouble. Yeah. So they kept quiet, never told anyone what happened.
And that silence, that burden, it's heavy, especially for a child. Leaving it unresolved, unshared, it creates this lasting psychological weight. All those unanswered questions. Who was the boy in the photo? What happened to him? Who was the man? They just linger for years, decades even. It's a secret kind of trauma.
So gathering all these stories, what does it all really mean for you listening right now? We've heard about keys pulled into darkness, unseen watchers on a lonely run, being trapped in a grimy bathroom, a childhood discovery near a sinister fire. The common thread, it's the boardwalk, this symbol of summer fun, leisure, becoming the backdrop for truly terrifying, often unexplained events. It really highlights that deep sense of vulnerability we can feel when our everyday safety just shatters, how places we think we know can hide these really unsettling secrets.
Exactly. If you connect these to the bigger picture, what they really show is how flawed our perception of safety often is. It's not always about monsters or dramatic events. Sometimes it's the quiet unease, the silent watcher, the unseen threat in a familiar place. The mundane becoming menacing. These stories remind us that the most frightening things might not be fiction, but the unsettling possibilities that exist just on the edge of our normal lives. Our sense of security is perhaps more fragile than we like to admit.
Maybe the really terrifying takeaway here is realizing that even in places you've walked 100 times, familiar places, there could be shadows, secrets, figures just out of sight. Waiting for nightfall, maybe? It definitely makes you reconsider how well you truly know the spaces around you. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into some very unsettling corners of the boardwalk. Remember to stay vigilant out there, stay curious about maybe the hidden layers of the world around you. Hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Horror Docs. That way you won't miss out on more mysterious stories and chilling cases next time.